Hello YouTube, this is Wolfen here. Hope you guys are having a great day. Well, today we're going to do a little bit off the norm, and we're still going to talk a little bit of Phasmophobia, but we're going to do a little bit of what have I learned over the last year of playing this game. Because actually today, February 1st, is my day one of playing this game. So what would I do differently? What would I, if someone was coming in new into the game, what would I advise them to do? So that's what this video is going to be about. Is a little helper to those who might be playing the game, those who might been playing the game maybe for a while, but don't play it often, of things like that. So that's what this video is going to be on. First thing I would say is play at your own speed. I mean, unless you've got friends who are wanting to play at a certain level, as far as amateur, intermediate, professional, or nightmare, play what you're comfortable with. Some people enjoy the scares. Some people enjoy a little bit of scare. Play it at your own speed. Play it at your own pace. I always suggest anyone to try to play the game solo a little bit. You do get a little bit more comfortable with it if you do play solo. I definitely recommend watching streamers who have fun with the game or are very analytical at the game. It does seem to help you get over your jitters. Case in point, my wife, when she first started playing this game, was freaked out tremendously by it. Then she started watching a couple of streamers, plus she'd watch me, and realized it, and she got more comfortable with it. Oh, it still freaks her out because the game loves to freaking start its events or hunts right on freaking top of her. But other than that, but she has gotten a lot more comfortable with the game. So definitely, play at your own pace. If you're playing with the friends, you've got to play what they're going to play. Just pick jobs that you feel comfortable with. If you want to start by going in the house and getting stuff done and then going into the van, then by all means do so. One of the folks I play with, off and on, that's what she does. She goes in the house in the beginning, and once she starts getting the heebie-jeebies, she is in the van watching monitors. So and usually when I'm playing with her, I'm having to play professional. So she's watching monitors, watching, the sanities, things like that. So yeah. What else? At first, don't worry about buying stuff. Get your stuff. Play at the basics. Play at the basics because you're playing to get used to the game. Once you start getting used to the game, then start spending some of your money. Because if you lose it, you lose it. The game is a little harsh when it comes to money. I mean, with my normal loadout, if I die twice, I barely make any money after 12 games. And this is playing on nightmare mode, making between 300 to 360 every game. If I die twice, I might make 1,000, maybe. So yeah, it's not for the faint of. Be smart with your gear loadout. I mean, I'm even to the point of where I'm thinking of changing my gear loadout because I'm tired of having a bad day where I might die 5 times on a stream and losing money. So I might start changing a little bit of what I bring because there's a lot of stuff that I just don't even bring in the house that is still outside. So there's really not a need for it. Or I'm taking double things because I don't want to have to move things around where I could not take it and I could move it once. So yeah. Let's see, what else would there be? We're going to go into the game a little bit also, just to show some stuff. But the big thing is, play Tanglewood. I would always suggest Tanglewood. Willow is not the house to start. It might be, I'm not even sure it's the smallest house. I think Tanglewood still is the smallest. Willow, though, has no hiding spots. So I would not recommend doing Willow as your first house. Make it Tanglewood. Tanglewood's nice and easy. The layout is nice. The only problem with Tanglewood you're going to run into is the ghost does like. It's not necessarily. It is moving, but there also is bleed through between the rooms a lot more on Tanglewood. So you are going to get a little bit of the ghost might be in the hallway, ghost might be in the nursery, ghost might be in the bathroom. So it takes a little bit more time to pinpoint it. And you're not going to have a thermometer to begin with. So as far as first buys go, let's go to live. Let's go to live scene here. And let's do, and let me show you here. So you're going to start with this stuff. Well, actually, this is technically the beginner stuff, the main equipment. So dots, EMF, ghostwriting, spirit box. Thermometer, though, you don't get. It's not main equipment. At least I don't think you get it. Do you get thermometer now? Maybe you do. For some reason, I thought thermometer I had to buy. Maybe they changed that. That's one thing with how everything is. Some things they have changed, I believe. But if you got the thermometer, then yeah, then I would definitely check the house, check the rooms, and see which one is your coldest one. And that is most likely the main room, and it's just wandering. Because the ghost will wander off and on. But your first buys, I always recommend buy that strong flashlight. It is a world of difference between what you can and cannot see. After that, I kind of start going with what your objective. Buy one of each of what an objective is. So candle, crucifix. Don't worry about glow sticks. Honestly, I never use glow sticks unless it's a challenge that I decide to do. Head-mounted cameras, don't even bother. Not unless you get a lot of money. I solo a lot, but even when I play with my wife and two of our friends, I'm the only one that wears a head-mounted camera. None of them ever put one on. Lighter, you kind of need to get a lighter. I'd at least go through here and buy one of each of what the objectives would be. So in this case, it would be candle, crucifix, lighter, motion sensor. Always having an extra photo camera to fill out your 10 photo book is always good. Smudge sticks definitely, salt definitely. Sanity pills, you can leave that up to your option. They're nice to have, yes, but you can kind of also guarantee getting in and getting out in the beginning. So I'd kind of wait on these. Sound sensors, don't worry about it. Get your strong flashlights. Tripods, I'd wait also. I use mine. I use mine all the time. But you could put stuff on most. You could find a good place in most places in the houses. So, and then I would start with one. I usually bring two, and I really need to just start bringing one. Just for cost. So now, like I said, the houses I would stick to first would be Tanglewood, Willow. Actually, Tanglewood, Ridgeview, Edgefield would be the three houses I would probably stick with if you're starting. Just to get a little bit more variety. If you want to throw in a farmhouse, throw in Grafton. Grafton is much smaller than Bleasdale, and I think it's much easier to navigate. Bleasdale is probably my worst house, and I feel it's bigger than. It's ranging on the size of medium, as far as how big it is and how long it takes you to get through the whole thing. So I would stay away from Bleasdale in the beginning. Then once you start getting more comfortable, then go Bleasdale and go Willow. The medium places, those are totally up to you. You can mess with them when you feel comfortable with, especially if you're in a group, like prison, high school. I'd go, Maple Lodge would be, I would say, your beginner. Though hiding in Maple Lodge is a little bit harder. But it's a little bit smaller. And you can't get lost in Maple Lodge. You can get lost. Some people can get lost in high school. Some people can get lost in prison. High school. Thing you got to remember with high school is it's just a big square. Just keep running in one direction, and you'll find your way out. Prison, just think of it in wings. You got your A wing, you got your B wing, you got your center, and you got your top. Think of it that way, memorize it that way, and it'll be harder for you to get lost in it. Asylum, look, I play Asylum all the time. There's still times where if I spin too fast, I will lose the idea of which direction I'm actually going. And it'll take me a couple of steps to figure out which way I'm going. So, but that would be my selection there. As far as amateur, medium, intermediate, professional, or nightmare, start off with amateur. Get used to it. I think amateur is 5 minutes before the ghost. You got 5 minutes to set up. The only problem with that is it's 5 minutes for the ghost to not do anything. So, if I remember right, it's been a long time since I've played amateur. I got tired of waiting for 5 minutes to be able to figure out where the ghost was. I mean, so what? I got 5 minutes. Okay, so I got 5 minutes to get the stuff in the house, and I've got basically 3 minutes of sitting there doing nothing, waiting for the timer to expire. Intermediate would be, but I would use amateur to let you get used to the equipment, let you get used to the layout of the houses, things like that. And then I would go up to intermediate. I think intermediate is 2 minutes, if I remember right, for setup time, which is plenty enough time to get your stuff in the house and then start doing stuff, and the ghost is doing, and the ghost is already doing things. So, your sanity pills are restoring some sanity, lots of sanity there. I know on Nightmare, me taking a pill is about 25%. So, and I believe it's 40% at the top end. So it might be 40, 35, 30, 25. I believe is what the increments are. So 40 for amateur, 35 for intermediate, 30 for professional, 25 for nightmare. But intermediate would be where I would probably really start worrying about their ghost hunting. Then going to professional. You're still dealing with the ghost not really changing anything. Short hunt grace periods, long hunt duration, fuse box starts off. That's a big thing between these two. Is, oh no, fuse box starts off here too. So it's only here that it doesn't. For some reason I thought intermediate was that. But intermediate also lets you regain some of your lost equipment value. Where professional, once you get into professional, you lose it, you lose it. So you're not going to get any insurance. So just remember that part as far as if you're going to be getting back any money if you die. So one of the big things I would definitely recommend is go in, figure out, try to get your objectives, figure out the ghost. If you don't figure out the ghost, leave. It's okay. You can miss on the ghost. Getting the objectives almost sometimes is more getting the bone, getting the picture of the bone, finding the cursed item, getting a picture of the cursed item, getting your objectives, and then getting the ghost is really your priorities as far as making money in the game. Because it's just not that big of a hit if you don't get the ghost right. It's a lot better not getting the ghost right and living than getting the ghost right but dying. So, as far as some of the objectives, you're going to have some objectives that are going to be smudge hunts. Where basically you have to use your smudge when the ghost is chasing you to survive. Get used to it. But don't sweat it. If you don't want to do it, don't do it. It's okay. You're going to lose a little bit of money. It's okay. You'll be okay. Live for another day. So going through all this kind of stuff. Nightmare. I love Nightmare personally. I know a lot of people who hate Nightmare. I love Nightmare personally because I love trying to figure out the ghosts by their behaviors, not by me finding all the evidence. So I like getting my 2 evidence and then having to try to figure out the rest of the ghost, just by what it's doing in the house. I love that part of the game. It's why I still play this game. If Nightmare mode was not in the game, I'm not sure. I'd still be playing the game, but I would not be having as much fun. Honestly, I would probably be doing challenges where I would get myself to where I have 2 pieces of evidence, and then I get rid of gear. and only go off the how the ghost behaves. I was doing that, I think, towards the end before they added in Nightmare, because it was just more fun to try to figure out the ghost, or doing no evidence runs, of not taking a single piece of evidence and just taking in objective stuff. So I was having a lot of fun with those. So yeah. But I think this video is probably long enough. I try to keep my videos below 15 minutes if I can help it. Let's see where we're at. And we're right at around 15 minutes. So let me go back over to here. But I think that's a good little run for what I would say at my 1 year anniversary of playing this game, of things I would tell myself. Of, don't worry about getting the ghost right off the bat. Just go in, get used to the gear, get used to the atmosphere. The constant droning in the game wore me down when I first started playing the game. It took me a little bit to get used to that. There was times where it almost made my stomach sick. But get used to that stuff. Get used to seeing the ghost and reacting. When you first walk in the house, every closet, every locker that you see, open it up, see if it's open. Find your hiding spots. So when the ghost does show, you already have it in your head where you need to go. And kind of sometimes work in your head of how to get there. Work through scenarios of where the ghost, okay, if the ghost pops up here because we're working in this area, where are my escape points? Where do I need to get? Where do I need to go to get away? So when it does happen, because it will, you're ready for it. Or at least you might not have as much of a freeze that could have happened. Buy your gear slowly. Buy the important stuff first. Like definitely flashlight, and then get your objective stuff. Just have one of that stuff. Don't worry about sound sensors. Don't worry about glow sticks. Don't worry about the parabolic. The other stuff you can get, but just get one. And once you start building up a little bit more money, then buy a little bit more. And I try to have, like currently, I try to have 10 of the things that I bring one of, and 20 of the things that I bring two of. But that's me as a streamer. That's solos mostly, because if I'm going to have a bad day, most likely it's 5 deaths during a 4-hour stream. So I've had worse. I've had definitely much better, but that's about the average. If I'm having a bad day, that's about it. And that's usually because there's a lot of people playing Dixper cards on me. But other than that, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. If you guys liked the video, please give the video a like. If you guys are enjoying the channel, please give the channel a sub. I'd greatly appreciate it, and it is free. But I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. I hope this video helps in some part, some way. If you're new, or even if you're not new and just don't play a lot, that it helps you a little bit of how to go, what steps to take. I will go a little bit more intense on some things, on some future videos. But I just want to get a basic video out there just to kind of push people in the right direction who might be a little bit lost right now. But other than that, hope you guys have a great rest of your day and have a good one. Peace out.